I know you wrote an article after the Celtics loss a couple games ago. Kind of the Cavs' belief, even though they came out on the short end of that. Take us through that article and kind of what you found with that.
It was just a different vibe in that locker room. The Cavs were encouraged with the way that they were able to play on the road, NBA Cup game, given the grueling schedule that they've been dealing with, the fact that they were basically out of playable wings by the time that game rolled around. No Max Strus, no Dean Wade, no Isaac Okoro, no Karis LeVert, and they only lost by 3 points. So they felt really, really good about their performance. And they felt like some of the things that went wrong in that game, specifically in the first half, they weren't Boston Celtics related. They weren't matchup related to the Celtics. It's that the Cavs, they did some poor things in terms of execution, and it wasn't because of what the Celtics did to them. They felt those were self-inflicted errors. Now you can sit there and you can say that that's a naive way to look at it, that the Celtics certainly played a part in Darius Garland going 3 of 21 from the field, and all those different things. But the Cavs have believed from the very beginning coming into this season that they belong in the conversation with the elite teams in the NBA. And when you play like that on the road against that caliber opponent in what is considered your first big test of the season, there was a positive feeling coming off of that game. In fact, there were multiple players in the locker room, Dave, saying that if we see them in the playoffs, we can beat that team. And that just wasn't the feeling coming off of last year's playoff loss against Boston. When it was game 5 and they had just lost in the Eastern Conference semifinals, they were basically calling out that changes needed to be made within the organization in some capacity. They weren't specifically saying that we need to go change the coach, but they were saying that we've got too much talent on this team to not be competitive with the Boston Celtics. And I think the belief that the Cavs have in Kenny Atkinson continues to show, and the belief that they have in themselves continues to show. And they believe that if they were to see the Celtics in a playoff environment, that they can be much more competitive than they were last year and maybe even beat the Celtics.
Yeah, and to your point, just to finish off the thought with the Celtics. Celtics shot over 50% from three-point range, and they found a way to get back in the game and lost by 3. So, yeah, absolutely.